If you're watching this channel for the first time, it's your boy Mr. Ghana, baby. Don't forget to support this brother, MD90, not MD60. So you know what? Subscribe and be part of this family. It's all about Africa to the world. Support Zambian YouTubers.
Well, as you may be aware, some Patriotic Front MPs are under arrest. So that's the news that is coming from jail. So the Daily Nation reported this to say jailed PF MPs are stripped naked. So they say the two former ministers are currently in prison are being subjected to humiliation and inhumane treatment of being subjected to regular searches that require them to be stripped naked. So the two ministers in reference there is Ronald Chitotela and the gentleman on the left there, who was Patriotic Front, should have been Deputy Secretary General. So Chitotela is waiting for sentencing. The matters will move to the High Court of the province he's been arrested in. What is the former PF SG? He's been sentenced to 5 years, and both seats have been nullified in Parliament. Just waiting for ECZ to announce the date for the elections in those two areas. Then they're also part of the 9 MPs that were whose seats were nullified, but they put up an injunction in court and they still have a case. So based off this recent case, their seats have been nullified, these 2 out of that 9 that was as a result of those back and forth scandals that they had between Mao Sampa and Edgar Chagwa Lungu. While an update in JJ Banda's situation has also come forth. So we're closing in on almost a month since the JJ Banda escaped from police custody at Chipata General Hospital. And some time back, should have been last week or earlier on this week, his wife was arrested and then released on police bond, including the police officers and the prison warders that were tasked with the responsibility of looking after him or making sure he does not go anywhere. But they are all on police bond. So later on today, more information started developing because nothing has been heard from JJ Banda since then. His whereabouts are unknown, and yeah, but as you expect, the police are still doing a search. And then this news was reported by Patriotic Front. The police have surrounded Honorable JJ Banda's sister's house, Lady Banda, in Ibex Hill for unknown reasons. So when this news broke, it was just a couple of hours, then the details came forth as why the police had surrounded her house. If you remember her, she's one of the people that the time that JJ was found doing that, the first missing incident, which is regarded as an abduction, she's one of the people that were at police that are having that trending video where they are saying, no, we want to take him to a private hospital, but then the police took him to Mainasoko police, station. But the person there that you see with JJ Banda, that's Jean Senga, an MP, and not the sister, but the sister is here. This is the sister that has been arrested as things stand right now. So Sparticles reported just in, police detain Petauke independent lawmaker, Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda's baby sister, Pauline Banda. So that's a sister that has been arrested. The police has not given any details to why she's been arrested, but this makes the second individual from JJ's family to be arrested, because his wife, the one that was with him at Chipata General Hospital, was arrested and then released on bond. Now, considering that the sister has been arrested, this is a Saturday, meaning she has to spend the weekend in police custody, because police don't release or attend to individuals with regard to police bonds over the weekend. So which just simply means she'll spend this Saturday night in police custody, including Sunday, and then maybe probably if there's to be a police bond, it will have to come on a Monday. That's if she's granted such a facility, or she's entitled to. But things stand, that's a sister, JJ Banda's sister, that has been arrested. The police have not given any statement with regard to this, so probably they will give a statement when she's been released on a Monday or later on, depending on how the public responds or interacts on this issue. So that's the update with regard to JJ Banda. Otherwise, JJ Banda himself is nowhere to be seen at this moment. No one knows his whereabouts, but probably his sister has been arrested to help with the investigation in that regard. So that's the update coming from JJ Banda's situation. But the person that you see on screen, that is Kangwachileshe, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports. So the Ministry of Sports has been in the news for the wrong reasons for a couple of years now. Earlier on, the first, not this recently ended Olympics, there was a scandal that had broken up in the previous Olympics to say no, athletes were not being paid and just something in those lines. But because the people that were involved in that particular tournament, the previous Olympics, not the 2024 one, did not win any medals, so the public did not pay attention to that issue, and it fell on deaf ears. But one person that was very proactive with this is the lady, the swimmer, Teuka. This was a swimmer representing Zambia then. Then she put up a number of complaints where no, they're not being paid and the way they were treated. So now, because now Mzala has won a bronze medal, he complained to say, we need our money, Mzala. Samkonga demanded or demands. Then she says, the lady that was part of the previous Olympics said, no one believed me. You all said I was attention seeking and making noise for nothing. But here we are again in the same position. How long will it take for people to realize that us athletes are being exploited? So earlier on, Tilka, this is a white lady. She's Zambian, but she's white. So the time she broke the news, no one paid attention to her. They're just like, no, she's attention seeking, as she said in that particular caption. So she does a series to say, I told you people now, you see. So based off the pressure that now Mzala carries, because now the nation is paying attention as compared to the time that she had broke the news, no one really cared that much. Only those people that really follow athletics. Zambians only pay attention to certain issues when you win a medal or you have drawn attention. So Mzala, at the moment, the fact that he's got a medal is a national conversation. Anything he says, everybody pays attention. So the pressure is different. When she tried to bring to light that issue, no one paid attention then. But obviously, Mzala is now representing all the new athletes that were represented Zambia. And he was like, no, none of us has been paid. And the Ministry of Sports hasn't said anything. So based off the public pressure now, this time around, the Ministry of Sports was compelled to issue a statement. And this is what they had to say. First of all, this is a statement that a government response, reported by Kalemba, government response to Mzala's demand of unpaid allowances for athletics at the Olympics. Government has acknowledged a communication breakdown following public outcry from athletes who represented the nation at the Paris 2024 Olympics, led by medalist Samkonga. Samkonga shared that athletes returned home without receiving their daily allowances, winning bonuses promised by the Ministry of Sports and Arts. So when he said that, the nation will excuse us. If ordinary people that had promised Mzala money and different things that they had promised are delivering on their promises, whose government not to do that? So then Permanent Secretary, the gentleman that I had shown you earlier on, congratulations, of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and responded to the grievances attributing to the delay of payments to a possible communication lapse. He says, she emphasized that Ministry they informed the team during their stay in Paris that allowances would be processed post-games to facilitate accurate computation. I don't even know what it means by that. How do you delay people's daily allowances? Probably they needed that in Paris and then say you're going to be paid later on. Anyway, that's the excuse that the ministry has given, and they've said they are going to pay them eventually. That's likely to happen because the public is definitely paying attention to that. And the lady, the swimmer, Tilka, has been justified at this point. But then again, in other news, a material member of parliament, Sampa, has been, I do not even know what he's been doing, but this is what he's been doing. So he said, latest scandal will be exposed at 13 hours on this page. Stay tuned. So he's been jabbing at the UPND government. That's the easiest way to say it. I think right before he had that meeting with Edgar Lungu, that coffee meeting which spiraled into, which was dubbed as a reunion between the two. He's been jabbing at the UPND, and since then he's been exposing scandals, whether they be true or just mere allegations. That's for him to justify. But the latest scandal that he seems to have exposed is this. Then obviously you expect Australian ambassador to Zambian ambassador to Australia, Elias Musha, responded to Miles Sampa. He had this to say with regard to the expose of the scandals that Miles Sampa is bringing up. So Elias Musha said, they commented on Miles Sampa's post. He says, from the time that you were fired as PF, as president of the PF by SG Mr. Angona, the PF president, Honorable Chavinga, you have been lying, and you have been lying a lot. Why? So he asked the question to say, from the time that you fell off with the people that you had broken off Edgar Lungu's PF, then you seem to be telling lies. So he alleges about Miles Sampa is stating lies. And then obviously Miles Sampa had to deliver on the promise. When 15 hours came up, he delivered. So he went on site and he did a live stream. Did a video there explaining the situation there. And then this is what scandal after scandal. Another one has been revealed to me in the inbox, Niulule. So it seems like people are feeding him this information, and he's going on ground to confirm it. So Miles Sampa says, let me give you the first segment to this. So he says, scandal after scandal exposed. Government buys a building for around 10 million US dollars from a private company. So Miles Sampa goes on to say, a four-story building, former MTN, next to Citibank, on plot number, he puts a plot number, has been sold to government for around 10 million US dollars. It is located along Rhodes Park and Edu Park, the location where the new sculpture has been put about, that roundabout, pretty much Long Acres roundabout there. And he says, guess who owned the building prior to being sold to government via ZNBS? He says, it is Africa Life Insurance company owned by individuals associated to top government powers. This brings in the issue of conflict of interest which is a form of corruption in itself. A seller and buyer should never have vested personal interest, especially in if it's public resources, it says. So he alleges to say the purchase of was made a few months ago via Zambia National Building Society, whose mandate from the unique days was to build and finance affordable homes for ordinary Zambians. So he says that's the allegation is put up there. But then again, they doubled down to say this building, another person gave him details in his inbox. So he says from his inbox, this is still Miles Sampa, and then exposing the same building and government purchase. He says, and then he says, cadres hired to refurbish acquired society buildings, and ZRA has already ordered to rent. And then Shan Honorable, that's from his inbox. Thanks for exposing the former MTN saga. So that's a building. Whoever sent him that inbox was thanking him for putting it out there. Apart from the 10 million US dollars purchase price, ZNBS engages a cadre as a contractor to completely refurbish the building. Then he asked at what cost. Pretty much like the cadre is the one that sort of put up the price of how much it's going to cost to refurbish the building. Secondly, the ZIA also their involvement, apparently they are operating from there. They have adopted one wing earmarked for refurbishment using the taxpayers' money. They have subjected their staff to operating in very harsh conditions, as the building is construction. I mean, it's a construction site now at the moment. Meaning noise pollution, and then they state the other things. So he says that's the expose Sampa had to put out there to say government is selling buildings to itself. Like as he says, he alleges this particular insurance company, top government officials are aligned with that. They have interest in that. So that's the expose Sampa has been doing then. And then what was that his constituency? It seems like Sampa is preparing for some sort of by-elections. Since he fell off from that PF, second PF, it seems like he's bracing himself just in case a by-election is called in his constituency. He's been on ground recently, pretty much interacting with his people. In as much as Parliament is on recess right now, the level of interaction that he's having in material, you would pretty much dub it as a campaign strategy. Seems like he's ready. He knows that he's up for a fight. So that's the expose that came from Sampa. What is the president today was at a traditional ceremony, and these are some of the images that came from that. And then HH launches 600 million mine. That's in the Daily Mail. And then I am ready to be HH's special envoy to Zimbabwe, Edgar Chagwa there. So if you remember from yesterday's broadcast, Harika stated to say it was necessary for President Hakainde Hichilema to utilize Edgar Chagwa to go and sort out the situation between Zambia and Zimbabwe. And then Edgar Lungu says, I'm ready to do that. I don't see that happening. That is highly unlikely. And then this is the news diggers. They say Lungu should shut up Hakainde Hichilema. Is the reason we are suffering. He peed in the well. So that's an extract attributed to the president to say the president ACO should shut up. There is the reason we're in the current situation. That's Hakainde Hichilema's response. So I do not see HH sending Lungu to Zimbabwe unless otherwise. These are some of the images from the ceremony that he had, the traditional ceremony that he was attending earlier on today. And then, as you can see, this is Katele Kalumba. He seems to be an Induna or headman at this particular chiefdom there. He hasn't been seen in public for a while since he'd been released from prison. He was arrested for some corruption issues in the past, but he was pardoned by by Hakainde Hichilema. So it seems like he's back to his traditional roots. Anyway, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a beautiful night or good morning, depending on where you are from.